Easter is a holiday that is celebrated by millions of people around the world. It is a time of renewal and rebirth, but what is the history behind this popular holiday? In this video, we will explore the origins of Easter, the traditions associated with it, and how it is celebrated around the globe. For many people, Easter is a time for enjoying some chocolate, seeing family, and maybe even attending church. But did you know that the holiday's origins are steeped in pagan traditions? In fact, the word Easter comes from the Old English word Easter, which refers to a pagan festival celebrating the goddess of spring and fertility. As Christianity began to spread in Europe, the pagan festival of Easter was gradually replaced by Easter. However, many of the pagan traditions associated with Easter were incorporated into the Christian holiday, resulting in a fascinating blend of both pagan and Christian traditions that have evolved over time. In this segment, we'll explore the ways in which ancient pagan beliefs have influenced the Easter holiday that we celebrate today. One of the key connections between Easter and pagan traditions is the celebration of the spring equinox. The spring equinox typically falls on March 20th or 21st and represents the exact moment when day and night are of equal length. For pagans, this was seen as a time of rebirth and renewal, when the earth awakens from its winter slumber and begins to bloom once again. This connection to the earth's natural cycles was pivotal in pagan beliefs, as it was thought that these cycles represented the cycle of life and death. Over time, the celebration of the spring equinox became closely tied to the celebration of Easter, which was typically held on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. This connection to nature and the cycles of the earth is still central to many Easter traditions today, and helps to connect us to the world around us. The spring equinox was an important time for many ancient pagan cultures, who saw it as a time for renewal, rebirth, and the celebration of new life. One such culture was the ancient Persians, who celebrated the spring equinox with the festival of Nowruz. This festival, which is still celebrated today, marks the arrival of spring and the start of the Persian New Year. During this festival, people gather to share food, dance, and decorate eggs, which symbolize fertility and new life. Similarly, in ancient Rome, the festival of Hilaria was held on the spring equinox and involved parades, feasts, and music. The ancient Germanic tribes also celebrated the equinox with feasting and bonfires, which were symbols of light returning after winter darkness. As these pagan traditions evolved over time, many of their symbols and customs were incorporated into Easter and other Christian holidays, resulting in the rich tapestry of beliefs and traditions that we celebrate today. Ostara, also known as Yoster, is the ancient Germanic goddess of spring and fertility. According to legend, during the equinox, Ostara found an injured bird on the ground and transformed it into a hare to save its life. The hare then showed its gratitude by laying brightly colored eggs for the goddess. This story is believed to be the origin of the Easter bunny and the tradition of Easter eggs. Ostara's influence can also be seen in the name of the modern-day holiday, Easter, which is thought to be derived from her name. Despite her waning popularity in modern times, Ostara remains an important figure in many neo-pagan and Wiccan traditions, where she symbolizes the rebirth and renewal of the natural world. And even though the story of Ostara and the Easter Bunny has been adapted to modern traditions, its roots in ancient Germanic pagan beliefs continues to be celebrated in modern times. One of the most iconic symbols of Easter is the egg. In many Christian traditions, the egg symbolizes the tomb from which Jesus rose from the dead. However, the tradition of decorating and coloring eggs during Easter also has pagan roots. Ancient Persians decorated eggs as part of their spring festival, as did the ancient Greeks, who believed that eggs were a symbol of life and rebirth. In medieval Europe, eggs were forbidden during the Christian season of Lent, so people began to decorate them and give them as gifts on Easter Sunday. The practice of decorating eggs continues to this day, with many people using intricate techniques and elaborate designs to make beautiful and decorative eggs. The tradition has even evolved into an annual White House Easter egg roll, which has been held in Washington, D.C. since 1878. So whether you paint them, dye them, or hunt for them, the humble egg continues to be an important part of Easter traditions around the world. Along with eggs, another common symbol of Easter is the hare or rabbit. In many cultures, hares and rabbits symbolize fertility and new life, making them a fitting symbol for the spring equinox and Easter. This connection goes back to ancient times, where the hare was often associated with the lunar cycle and considered to be a symbol of rebirth and resurrection. In many pagan traditions, the hare was thought to be a messenger between the human and spirit worlds, and was believed to be a shape that could be taken by witches and other magical beings. The Easter bunny concept grows from these pagan beliefs. Bringing baskets of eggs to children, the Easter bunny has long been associated with the holiday itself, bringing joy and excitement to children everywhere. Today, the Easter bunny is an integral part of modern Easter celebrations, offering a symbol of joy, abundance, and new beginnings. While Easter has its roots in ancient pagan traditions, over time it has become closely associated with Christianity. According to the Bible, Easter commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ on the third day after his crucifixion. The early Christian Church saw Easter as the most important holiday of the year, and worked to establish traditions and customs for the celebration. The first Easter Sunday occurred during the Jewish Passover, and so the Christian celebration was initially timed to coincide with that holiday. However, over time it was moved to the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. This change allowed for a more consistent and standardized celebration of Easter. Today, Christians around the world celebrate Easter in many different ways, but the central message remains the same: the triumph of life over death and the hope of a new beginning. It's an important time for many people, and a time to reflect on both the Christian and pagan traditions that have shaped this holiday throughout the centuries. Easter is a holiday that has deep roots in both pagan and Christian traditions. From the pagan festivals that celebrated the arrival of spring to the Christian celebration of Jesus' resurrection, Easter has evolved into a holiday that represents hope, renewal, and new beginnings. It's a time for families and friends to come together, to share food and stories, and to celebrate the joy of life. There are many ways to celebrate Easter, from attending church services to painting eggs and participating in Easter egg hunts. Whether you are celebrating the Christian message of hope and resurrection or the pagan symbols of renewal and fertility, Easter is a time to recognize the beauty of the world around us and to celebrate the arrival of spring. We hope that this video has given you a greater understanding and appreciation for the long and fascinating history of Easter. Easter is one of the most important holidays in the Christian faith, commemorating the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. According to the Bible, Jesus was crucified on a Friday, which is now known as Good Friday, and rose from the dead 3 days later, on Sunday, which is celebrated as Easter. This event is seen as the cornerstone of the Christian faith, as it shows that death is not the end and that eternal life is possible. The Easter story is central to the Christian religion and has many different interpretations and meanings. For many Christians, Easter represents a time of rebirth and renewal, as the resurrection of Jesus symbolizes the possibility of new beginnings and second chances. There are many different ways that Christians around the world celebrate Easter, including attending church services, reading the Bible, and engaging in acts of charity and goodwill. Some Christians also fast or give up certain things during Lent, a period of 40 days before Easter that represents the time that Jesus spent fasting in the wilderness. However, the most common way of celebrating Easter is by exchanging gifts and spending time with family and friends over a festive meal. Overall, Easter is an important holiday in the Christian faith that represents hope, renewal, and the possibility of new beginnings. The adoption of Easter by Christianity is a fascinating story that spans several millennia and has roots in many cultures and religions. The ancient peoples of Europe and the Middle East celebrated the arrival of spring with various festivals and rituals, many of which involved fertility symbols such as eggs and rabbits. The early Christians adapted these practices and used them to express their own beliefs and values. The word Easter itself comes from the Old English word Easter, which was the name of a pagan goddess of fertility. It wasn't until the 8th century that the word Easter began to be used to refer to the Christian celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The adoption of Easter by Christianity was also influenced by other religious traditions such as Judaism and the Passover. The Last Supper that Jesus shared with his disciples before his crucifixion was actually a Passover meal, and many of the Easter customs that are still practiced today have their roots in this Jewish tradition. For example, the traditional Easter meal often includes lamb, which is also the traditional Passover meat. It is also believed that the timing of Easter, which is calculated based on the lunar calendar and falls on the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox, is also influenced by other pagan and ancient traditions. This has led to some Christians questioning whether the adoption of Easter was truly necessary or appropriate. Despite these debates, Easter remains an important holiday for Christians around the world, and its adoption by Christianity has had a significant impact on the evolution and spread of the faith. Easter is celebrated by Christians around the world with many different practices and traditions. One of the most common ways of celebrating Easter is by attending church services, which can range from simple prayer services to elaborate processions and masses. These services often focus on the themes of rebirth, renewal, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Many Christians also engage in acts of charity and goodwill during Easter, such as donating money or volunteering at a local shelter or charity. This is seen as a way of embodying the compassion and generosity that Jesus exhibited during his life. Easter is also known for its many traditional foods and drinks. In many cultures, lamb is the traditional meat served at the Easter meal, as a symbol of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Other popular Easter foods include hot cross buns, sweetbreads, and various egg dishes. Eggs are a common Easter symbol, as they represent new life and the renewal of the spring season. In some cultures, egg hunts are popular activities during Easter celebrations. Easter is also known for its many colorful and creative displays, such as the painting and decorating of Easter eggs, and the creation of elaborate Easter baskets filled with candy and other treats. In many cultures, Easter is also marked by the use of flowers and other springtime decorations, such as daffodils, lilies, and tulips. Overall, Easter is a time of celebration, joy, and renewal for Christians around the world, and is marked by a wide variety of practices and traditions that have developed over the centuries. Easter is a festival that represents new beginnings, renewed hope, and new life. One of the most recognizable symbols during this time of the year are Easter eggs. Easter eggs are a popular tradition that dates back to ancient civilizations. They are often seen in beautiful colors and designs with intricate patterns on their shells. The egg symbolizes the emergence of new life, and the meaning stems from ancient pagan traditions that predate Christianity. Pagan rituals celebrated the spring equinox, and the egg and the hare were important symbols of this celebration. Eggs represented new beginnings and fertility, and it was believed that the earth was rebirthed after winter. The egg also symbolized the rebirth of the divine, and its circular shape represented the universal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The tradition of Easter eggs continued as Christianity emerged. Christians adopted the egg as a symbol of Jesus' resurrection. The egg also represents the rock that rolled away from Jesus' tomb when he was resurrected, and it signified the power of Jesus to conquer death. Over time, it became customary to give colored Easter eggs as gifts to symbolize joy, new life, and renewed hope. Today many cultures use the egg during Easter celebrations, either by decorating them or using them in egg hunts. The Easter bunny has become a beloved figure of the Easter season, and its association with the holiday dates back to the 1700s in Germany. It is a symbol of fertility, prosperity, and new life, much like the Easter egg. The bunny was also a symbol of the pagan festival Easter or Ostara. The festival was celebrated at the spring equinox, and it was the time when winter ended, and new life emerged. Bunnies were chosen as the symbol because of their fertility and their association with the moon, which was also a symbol of fertility in pagan beliefs. The tradition of the Easter bunny continued as Christians merged it with their faith. Early Christians believed that the bunny was associated with the Virgin Mary, and it was considered a symbol of purity, much like Mary herself. The bunny became a popular Easter symbol, especially in the United States, during the 18th century. Children were told stories of the Easter bunny bringing baskets full of colored eggs and candy to children who were good. Today, the Easter bunny remains a popular figure worldwide, and children continue to decorate baskets and participate in Easter egg hunts. Easter lilies are a popular symbol during the Easter holiday and are often seen in churches and on Easter tables worldwide. They are known for their pure white color and delicate trumpet-shaped blooms. The Easter lily is said to have originated in Japan, and the plant was brought to the United States in 1919 by a World War I soldier named Lewis Houghton. An American grower, James White, saw the potential in the plant and started growing them commercially in the United States. The lily has a long association with Christianity and is said to have grown in the Garden of Gethsemane after Jesus' crucifixion. According to legend, drops of Jesus' sweat fell to the earth, and from these drops grew the first Easter lilies. The trumpet-shaped blooms were also said to symbolize Jesus' call to his disciples to wake up from sleep and follow him. The Easter lily remains an important symbol of Easter today and is often used in religious services as a symbol of purity, renewal, and new life. The pure white color of the lily symbolizes the Virgin Mary's purity and the resurrection of Christ. Eggs have been associated with the observance of many different festivals and celebrations for centuries. The inclusion of eggs in Easter celebrations is believed to date back to early Christians in Mesopotamia, who would stain eggs red to symbolize the blood of Christ. From there, the tradition of decorating eggs evolved and spread throughout the world. In medieval Europe, eggs were often given as gifts for Easter. They were decorated with gold leaf, bright colors, and intricate designs. Some countries, like Romania, even developed their own unique styles of decorating eggs, such as wax-resist dyeing. Eventually, the tradition of giving decorated eggs for Easter made its way to the United States. In the late 19th century, American manufacturers began producing Easter egg dye kits, making it easy for families to decorate eggs at home. Today, Easter egg decorating is still a popular activity among families. In addition to dyeing eggs, some people also decorate them with stickers, glitter, and other craft supplies. And of course, no Easter celebration would be complete without an Easter egg hunt, where children search for and collect Easter eggs filled with treats. One of the most popular Easter traditions is the egg dyeing activity. The process involves hard-boiling eggs and then dipping them in colorful dyes, resulting in beautifully decorated eggs. There are many different types of egg dyeing kits available on the market, which come with dyes and stickers to help create unique designs. Easter egg hunts are also a beloved part of the holiday. This involves hiding Easter eggs filled with small toys or candies around a yard or park, and letting children search for them. The eggs are often brightly colored and may be decorated with a variety of stickers and other embellishments. The child who finds the most eggs is often declared the winner of the Easter egg hunt and may receive a special prize or recognition. The origins of the Easter egg hunt are unclear, with different cultures claiming different versions of the event. One theory is that it stems from the ancient pagan tradition of the springtime festival, in which eggs were hidden and discovered as part of the celebration of new life. Aside from egg-related activities, there are also many traditional foods associated with Easter. One of the most popular is the hot cross bun. These sweet, spiced buns are typically made with raisins or currants and marked with a cross on top. While the exact origin of the hot cross bun is unknown, it is believed to date back to ancient civilizations who baked small cakes or buns as offerings to the gods. In addition to hot cross buns, many cultures have their own traditional Easter foods. In Greece, for example, sareki, a sweet Easter bread flavored with orange and spice, is often served. In Italy, colomba di Pasqua, a dove-shaped Easter cake flavored with almonds and candied fruit, is a popular treat. And in the United States, Easter hams and lamb dishes are often served as part of the holiday feast. Some cultures also have Easter traditions that involve eating specific foods on certain days. In Russia, for example, it is customary to eat paska, a sweet, creamy cheese dessert, on Easter Sunday. And in Sweden, semla, a sweet almond paste-filled pastry, is traditionally consumed on the holiday known as Fat Tuesday. No matter where you are in the world, Easter is a time for coming together with family and loved ones, enjoying delicious food, and celebrating the rebirth and renewal of spring. Europe has a rich history of Easter celebrations dating back hundreds of years. One of the most famous Easter traditions in Europe is the Easter egg. In many European countries, Eggs are dyed bright colors and used to decorate trees or given as gifts. The oldest known decorated egg, dating back to the 13th century, was found in Croatia. Along with eggs, many European countries also have special Easter breads. In England, for example, hot cross buns are a popular Easter treat. These spiced bread buns are marked with a cross on top and traditionally eaten on Good Friday. Other Easter traditions in Europe include parades, church services, and fireworks displays. In Greece, the week leading up to Easter Sunday is marked by numerous church services, with the biggest service held on Holy Saturday, followed by a traditional feast. In Spain, Semana Santa, or Holy Week, is a major celebration featuring numerous parades, some of which can last up to 12 hours. Clearly, there is a lot to celebrate in Europe during Easter. Easter is widely celebrated in both North and South America, with many different traditions and customs. In the United States, Easter egg hunts are a popular activity for families. Large chocolate Easter bunnies are also a common sight in stores leading up to the holiday. In Mexico and other Latin American countries, Semana Santa, or Holy Week, is a major celebration. One of the most famous events is the Passion Play in Iztapalapa, Mexico City, which reenacts the crucifixion of Jesus. In Brazil, there is the Festival of the Passion of Christ, which includes a reenactment of the Stations of the Cross. Along with religious celebrations, many Americans choose to celebrate Easter Sunday with a special meal or brunch. This often includes dishes such as roast lamb, hot cross buns, and Easter ham. Overall, Easter in the Americas is a time for families to come together, celebrate their faith, and enjoy delicious food and traditions. While Easter is primarily a Christian holiday, it is celebrated in many countries around the world, including several in Africa and Asia. In Ethiopia, Easter Sunday is known as Fasika and is celebrated with church services, family gatherings, and special meals. One traditional dish is doro wat, a spicy chicken stew served with injera, a type of sourdough flatbread. In the Philippines, people celebrate Holy Week with religious processions, including the reenactment of the Passion of Christ. On Easter Sunday, many Filipinos participate in the Salubong, which is a dawn procession depicting the meeting of Jesus and his mother, Mary. In India, Easter is celebrated by the Christian community with church services and special meals. In Goa, a former Portuguese colony, there is a tradition of decorating crosses with flowers and holding special services. Overall, Easter is celebrated with a mix of religious and cultural elements in Africa and Asia, offering a unique perspective on the holiday. As we conclude this video on the history of Easter, we hope that you have a better understanding of the origins and traditions of this holiday. Whether you celebrate Easter for religious or cultural reasons, it remains an important and beloved holiday for people all around the world. From the symbolism of eggs and rabbits to the sacred traditions of the Christian faith, Easter is a holiday that brings together families, friends, and entire communities. We hope that you enjoyed learning more about this cherished holiday, and we wish you all a very happy Easter.